Call the Owatonna City Council meeting to order for Tuesday, May 19th. With this, may we have roll call.
Councilmember Spendy.
Here.
Dotson.
Here.
Okerberg.
Here.
Schultz.
Here.
Burbank.
Here.
Rainey.
Here.
Abraham.
Here.
Mayor Kuntz.
Here.
We have all 7 of the council and the mayor present.
Thank you. Please rise and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Go ahead, Dave.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you and welcome to the City Council meeting tonight. We do have one addition, 1.3.2 Resolution 50-15 added to the agenda. May we have approval of the agenda with the addition?
So moved.
Motion by Nate Dotson to approve as
Second.
seconded by Brent Svenby. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? This has been approved. Now, one of the things that I've done over the years, I've looked at is the possibility of having someone else lead the council meetings. This is a light agenda tonight, and I did receive a letter from someone stating that it would also be a good idea, so I'm going to implement that tonight, and I'm going to ask Councilmember Greg Schultz to take over the meeting for me tonight. If you would like to do that?
To do that, huh?
If you would like to do that?
We're just going to mix a few things up tonight, so. First thing on the agenda is item 1.3.1, proposed assessment for the emergency repair done at 442 West Bridge Street. We're going to have a public hearing on that, but first we'll go to Kyle.
Good evening. This is the special assessment we talked about at the last meeting. The total was, in the end, $7,487.98 with our publication costs. This was a repair of a water service that was leaking in the street and causing some damage, and we recommend approval.
Okay, thank you, Kyle. With that, we'll open the public hearing at 7:05. If anyone has any comments about this matter, please come to the microphone. There appearing to be no comments. I'll ask for a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Motion by Les Abraham. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Nate Dotson. Any further discussion on this? There being none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. The public hearing is over. With that, we'll go to item 1.312, 1.3.2, Resolution 50-15 to adopt the assessment. And we'll go to you, Kyle, on that.
Again, this is in the amount of $7,487.98. Recommending a period of 5 years for the installments, and council has yet to set interest rates for this year's assessments. Last year was 3.5%. I think our bonding rates ticked up a little bit. I would suggest either 3.5% or 4%.
Okay, thank you, Kyle. Any questions of Kyle?
I'd make a motion to approve and maintain that 3.5%.
Okay, motion by Nate to approve Resolution 50-15 at 5 years for 3.5%. Is there a second?
I'll second that, but I do have a question because we do need to state the years too.
Kyle said 5, I think.
5, okay.
Yeah. Second by Les Abraham. Any discussion? Council's wishes? We had a motion.
Oh, we had a motion.
We had a motion, okay. Everybody in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. See, I'm new at this. So we practice, right, Les?
That's right.
Okay, now we move on to the mayor. He has a proclamation.
I do, and the proclamation's because the Moonlighters Exchange Club has decided to recognize a Police Officer of the Year. And that will be taking place on May 28th at the VFW Club. And tickets are available for that. It's an evening meal and a recognition of the police officer. And for that, the mayor always gets to do a proclamation. So the proclamation reads, whereas Zachary Shoemaker has been selected by the Moonlighters Exchange Club as the 2015 Police Officer of the Year. And whereas Zachary joined the Owatonna Police Department as a community service officer, was hired as a part-time police officer on December 12, 2011, and became a full-time police officer on October 24, 2012. And whereas Zachary grew up in Albert Lea, attended Minnesota State University Mankato, and received his bachelor's degree in law enforcement. And whereas Zachary has been active in the Owatonna community with the Explorers Program, where he educates and teaches high school and early college age students experience in law enforcement field. Shop with a Cop program, fishing guide for Big Brothers Big Sisters, fishing with a Cop program, and a counselor for the annual safety camp. And whereas Zachary strives for results and doesn't quit until he reaches his goals. Zachary completes his daily task and takes it upon himself to go above and beyond with positive results as his final product. Zachary is one of Owatonna Police Department's highest performers in traffic safety and definitely puts an emphasis on DWI enforcement. Therefore, I, Thomas A. Kuntz, Mayor of the great city of Owatonna, hereby proclaim Thursday, May 28, 2015, as Zachary Shoemaker Day, and call upon all citizens of the great city of Owatonna to help us celebrate with Zachary as we recognize Zachary as the Police Officer of the Year. Dated May 19, 2015.
Thank you. And because we're mixing things up tonight, we're going to the finance report, and Councilman Dotson is going to read the finance report.
Yeah, I can handle this. All right, checks over $20,000 are detailed out individually. We have $35,500 going to Advanced Resources for development for the TIF District 3-8 for Daikin. $39,690 going to ODB Company for a 2015 trailer-mounted leaf vac. $30,044 to Owatonna Ford for a 2015 Ford Explorer. $110,314 to the Southeast Service Cooperative for the May 2015 health insurance premiums, and $275,290 in other expenditures for a total of $490,000 or $490,839 total expenditures presented for approval.
Thank you. That being said, do we have a motion to pay the bills tonight?
So moved.
Motion by Kevin to pay the bills. Is there a second?
Second. I got a question.
Okay.
Sorry. Where is this Explorer going to? Which department is getting the?
Police.
It is one of the new squads.
Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead. I
Second by Jeff. Any further discussion on the finance report? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next item is the consent agenda. That consists of minutes, licenses and permits, boards and commissions reports, and other contracts and agreements put together for us to look at ahead of time and vote on as a single item. And Jeanette, you said you had a couple items to add?
Yeah, and looking through the minutes, I did miss, need to make two additions. There was a second made by Councilmember Okerberg on the item with regards to the Sergeant and Corporal's contract, and also the second made on Councilmember Burbank made the second to the motion for the Environmental System Research Institute program, or the enterprise license agreement with OPU. So I'll add those to the minutes as well.
Thank you. With that being added, what are the council's wishes on the consent agenda?
I'll move for approval of it with those additions.
Motion by Les Abraham. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Dave Burbank. Any discussion? There being none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Consent agenda is passed. Moving on to action items. First one is item 3.1.1, retail tobacco license for Smoke and Vape Inc. at 1407 South Oak Avenue. And with that, we'll go to Chris.
Thank you. This license will replace the current license held by Smoke Shop of Faribault, doing business as Star Tobacco. The request is for the license to become effective upon approval. 28 sites have been issued tobacco permits during 2015. This is an annual license which will expire at the end of the year. Budget impact, the tobacco license is $150 per year or $12.50 per month. Fee of $100 was received for the remaining 8 months of the license period, and also a $100 administrative fee for a license application and background check. Staff recommends approval of the application from Smoke and Vape.
Thank you, Chris. Hearing the staff report, what are the council's wishes on this?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Kevin to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Jeff Okerberg. Any discussion? There being none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next item is 3.3.1, authorization of agreement for airport non-primary entitlement funds with the City of Sauk Center, Minnesota. And we'll go to Troy for this.
Good morning. Each year, the FAA allocates non-primary entitlement funds to airports. The City of Owatonna has apportioned $150,000 per year of these entitlement funds, and those can be banked up to 3 years. If they are not used within that 3-year period, they are turned back to the FAA. Expiring entitlement funds can be transferred between cities. In fact, the state encourages that because they stay within the state when that's done. The FAA requires all transfer agreements to be completed no later than June 1st of each year. It's anticipated that additional federal funding will be needed above the banked entitlement funds currently available to the airport to complete the T-hangar taxi lane reconstruction project identified in our 2015 CIP budget. The City of Sauk Center has expiring funds currently in the use it or lose it status and would be willing to enter into a transfer agreement with the city. The draft agreement provides for the transfer of $62,000 of expiring entitlement funds from the City of Sauk Center to the City of Owatonna. There would be a stipulation that the City of Owatonna will transfer $62,000 of future available entitlement funds back to Sauk Center if requested before federal fiscal year 2020. Staff would recommend approval of the authorization to enter into an agreement with the City of Sauk Center for the transfer of the airport non-primary entitlement funds.
Okay, thank you, Troy. Any questions of Troy?
Has this been done before?
It happens quite often between cities. Larger airports tend to need additional federal funding. I know when Dave called around to find out which cities had expiring funds, a few of them he called were already entering into agreements with City of Mankato. So it does happen quite a bit when you get close to this June 1st date. I don't believe we have done this before, but it's quite common, and the state encourages that, so these funds stay within the state.
Okay. What are the council's wishes on this matter?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Nate Dotson to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Brent Swenby. Any further discussion? There being none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. That concludes our action items. We're moving along, aren't we? Now we're to public comments. If there's anyone in the audience that wishes to make a comment, please come forward. You have 2 minutes to address any items not on the agenda. Appears to be no one, so we'll move on to council's comments. And first we'll go to Brent Swenby.
I have nothing this evening.
Nate Dotson.
I just wanted to thank the retrofit companies for another successful recycle day. I know I tend to amass odd things that require recycling every year, so it's a very good thing they do, and I appreciate it, so thank you.
Good. Jeff?
I have a couple of things. First, I'd like to thank the Park and Rec Association for sponsoring the Saints game. It was very well attended and a great event. Also would like to recognize the Owatonna police officers and the Steele County deputies for their service to the community. This past week, May 15th, was National Law Enforcement Memorial Day, and appreciate anybody shaking their hand and saying thank you for their service. Wednesday, tomorrow, is Wednesday Wobble. They meet at Knights Columbus, and it's for just anybody that wants to ride a bike and have a short ride. And finally, I'd like to thank the Chamber of Commerce and the Downtown Association and city workers for their hard work to put forth in receiving the National Historic designation for downtown. Thank you.
Well put, thank you. Dave?
Well, Memorial Day coming up, anybody that has to travel, just be safe out there.
Kevin?
Thank you for calling on me.
I didn't want to forget you. That was my one important thing to remember tonight.
You did well.
Get used to it.
A couple of things first. Unfairly, the law enforcement community has been put under the microscope a lot in the last year. And reading the editorial in the Owatonna People's Press this last week made me feel very proud that one of our own took it upon himself to assist someone that was down on their luck, and while they're not named, I don't think he's the only, or he or she is the only one in the department that goes above and beyond, and I just want to say thank you. Need to wish my daughter Michaela happy 21st birthday today. She was really disappointed that I couldn't be with her tonight. I had to be here, so happy birthday to her. And that's it.
Okay, thank you. Les, you're not last tonight.
No, I'm not, and thank you. You've done a very good job.
Well, I'm going fast.
I'm going to try to postpone so you don't beat the record.
Okay.
No, one of the other things is that this last weekend was a very busy weekend for the city of Owatonna, and a lot of activities were going on, and no problems, no unfortunate incidences. So thank you for everybody doing their job as good as they did. And I also want to recognize my brother. It's his and my sister-in-law Gigi's 31st wedding anniversary today. So happy anniversary to you, and that's it.
Great. Mayor Tom?
Well, I too would just like to thank Park and Rec Department and Bullpen Association and Viracon and everybody else that was involved for making St. Paul Saints a great day, great Saturday for the city of Owatonna. And Les, you might lose your job because I think we're looking at a record time period that Greg is trying to accomplish here. So,
Thanks, Ty. It was a great weekend for Owatonna. And Chris, I'm sure you have some.
I have several items
for
that I
us?
think will take quite a long time. No. Just a few things. Just to let everybody know, we're going to have our Coffee with the Council May 30th, 8:30 to 9:30 at the Colonel. Just a reminder on that. Also, the United Way is hosting a town hall meeting this Thursday at 6:30 to 8:30 at the Steele County History Center. It's to kind of report back on all of the initiatives and the previous meeting that they had before. We have some other upcoming events. Steele County Safety Camp, June 4th and 5th. Owatonna Police, Fire, Park and Rec, Steele County Sheriff and Attorney's Office, along with Gold Cross Ambulance will host this safety camp. And they learn about, kids entering the 4th grade learn about fishing safety, boat safety, all kinds of fun stuff. Just a reminder about that. Also, River Springs Water Park is going to be opening June 4th. It'll warm up by then, I'm sure, and we're looking forward to another great season out there. And that's all I had.
Great, thank you, Chris. I'd like to wish everyone a happy and safe Memorial Day, and I'd like everybody to spend just a few minutes and reflect what Memorial Day is all about. I think that's an important thing. And with that, I'd ask for an adjournment.
So moved.
Motion by Kevin to adjourn. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Les. Any discussion about that? There being none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Council closed.